Hello, everyone. Happy almost Turkey Day if you celebrate it. We are back with more Slay the Princess. I have a few things up on my other screen to help me with some of the other ones I want to do. Specifically, there is a set of achievements called the 5 Stages Achievements, and you will see why as we go through them. So, we're just going to go ahead and get started. And I'm streaming. Why do you not like to show? Okay, so that was that one there. I don't know why OBS is slow on picking up on that. So yeah, this will be the start.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
We're gonna skip. We're gonna silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short. A warning. She will lie. She will. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You take the blade into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it. Good. You're still listening to reason.
Not really.
You walk down the She's focus on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening.
Oh? No talk. I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason. So, you.
She's unarmed.
I'm not trying.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
Oh, jeez.
It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you in the print. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more. We can still turn this around.
Finish the
You and
job.
the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around? The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder. Do you really think this is the end?
It's not, but we know
But
that.
you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2. Oh, I got the adversary again. Not that I'm going to do anything with it.
You're on a path. You're hit.
Turn around and
You
leave.
have already committed to my completion.
No, I
Don't
haven't.
go further astray.
No, really? Oh, I think I have to start a whole new level, or a whole new, whoops. Okay. Well, let me save this one so I can do whatever with the adversary, and we're just gonna do a quit. Whoops, I didn't mean to quit the whole game. Sorry, apologies. I need one of the things I should add to my my lengthening list of things I need to do for my channel is a technical difficulties screen. I just have it play the Wii music, Wii Shop theme. Do 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 do. Oh, come on and launch it. There you go. Okay, we're back. We're gonna do a new game here on the Princess.
You're on a path. You're here to slay her.
It still lets me skip. That's good. So cabin.
You make a warning. She will lie.
Skip. Proceed.
The interior of
I
the
have
cabin
yet to
is
just
ablaze.
like leave her in there, which I know is a bunch of the endings, but
You take the
for this one it's going to be easier to just go through the
door
fight
to the
sequence.
basement creaks open. Good.
Continue down the
You're
stairs.
still listening to
skip.
reason. You step
Forward.
forward.
Skip. Slay.
You lunge forward.
Whoops. Oh, okay, because I got because if you start a whole new game, it's a different princess. She doesn't expect you to just charge.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel you did kill someone?
Leave.
You open the cabin door. What? This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward.
Why is my reward eternity,
This is what's
though?
best for everyone. Trust me.
That's like an interesting way to... Yeah.
Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade.
No.
We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you... He's right. Do you hear that? It wants to take this... How astute. In a sense, I know this is that little voice.
You better
If
be
we
right.
die, I made this happy little... Fine. Whatever.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So this should allow me to...
Oh.
There we go.
Do you think there's something else out there?
I have the cold
Alright.
again. Hi, cold.
Let's see what we can find. It's bound to be more interesting than doing the same thing over again. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
I kind of like that one.
There won't be a new dawn if the world ends. There'll just be nothing forever. Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Nope.
Oh, how quaint. He really wants us to go in there, doesn't
I'm not going in. Turn around again and leave again.
he? You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies.
Interesting that
Forever.
he uses that phrasing too.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we?
The shifting mound wants a word with
I
me.
don't know. But it feels like home.
The world around you is unwound, its physical matter replaced by textured nothingness. It is quiet. There is a distant rumbling, the sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. Hi, shifting mound. How are you doing? Helios prep across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Resistance. Fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. I need something empty I can crawl inside of. I need something shaped like me. This is a nightmare. I don't know if it matters. I don't think I can wake up. It's not. Ooh. Woo! Denial. Return to your destined path or face the consequences.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the
And
basement of that cabin
cabin
is
is
a
a
princess.
princess. So, we're back in chapter 1.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is almost...
Take the
You
knife.
take the blade from the table.
I love how the music cuts out there. I just love this game. Ah!
The door to the
I
basement
can't
creaks.
not gush about it. It's so good. Oh, continue
Good.
down the stairs.
You're still listening to reason.
No, it's unamused voice again. Steal your nerves and
You
walk
step
forward.
forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking.
Okay, so I don't know if it's I have to do it as new games each time. It just says to unlock by refusing to progress the story beyond chapter 1. Player needs to start chapter 2 but then refuse to go to the captain. Do this repeatedly with multiple versions of chapter 2 to achieve them all. Alright, well, we'll go
You
for Slay
lunge
again.
forward without a
Nope,
moment's
okay.
hesitation.
Same as before.
It's over. You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing hidden up there. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that. You lean down and place your hand against her neck, holding your breath as you search for a pulse, even though you know you're not going to find one. We definitely won't if you keep talking. I'm sorry, do you want her to be alive? You just saved the entire world from annihilation. Why are you suddenly trying to call that into question? Wait,
Oh!
what was that? You know what that was. That was the sound of a heartbeat, followed by another, and another.
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Hi.
Something sharp digs into your side, the shock of it sending your nerves into a pained frenzy. Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs.
I love your teeth.
As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now. See you around.
You were so close. Why did you hesitate? It doesn't matter. At least you managed to take her with you.
Yeah.
For whatever that's worth.
Mm,
Everything goes dark, and you
to
die.
die. The razor again.
You're on a path. You're here to slay. And away we go.
Woohoo!
Good call. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Yes, I
Somehow
definitely
doubt
know
that,
where I'm
but
going.
fine.
Because I actually know where I'm going.
I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange.
Turn around and leave again.
Really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's
Yeah,
remarkably
yeah.
selfish.
Dies,
if you ask me,
dies.
but
I
fine.
know.
Turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind... What's going on? Where are we? That son of a bitch flipped over the table, didn't he?
Not exactly cheated. The world around you is unwound, physical matter replaced by textured nothing. It is quiet. You have been here before. Memory returns. There is a distant rumbling, a sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. High shifting mound again. That which dwells in the empty spaces contracts across the edges of your mind again. She is furious. Ooh. Betrayal. Every door you close on me is a door you close on yourself. Do you want to linger here, entwined with the creature you taught to hate you forever? Eternity never ends. I don't mean the teacher to hate me. Cold spite. Our infinities shrink into something less. I hate you, 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 I hate you. Wow, she really hates me. Anger, why have you come back?
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path,
Okay, so silently to the cabin.
you make your way
I
up
don't know how
a
it's gonna
warning
go this
before
time.
she will lie. You
Blade,
take the blade from
basement.
the door to her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds. Don't let it. Good.
Continue.
You're still listening to reason. You walk down the. She's so focused on the task at hand.
And there you are.
Here
Are you here
I
to kill
am.
me or something?
You step forward. Your grip on the blade.
Oh? No, I'm probably chained up in this basement for... So, you should just drop it.
She's unarmed.
Ooh.
If you hesitate,
I'm not dropping
Then I'm
the
not talking to you.
blade. We're gonna fight. Let's
doubt,
go.
unfortunately, clouds your. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she.
Finish the job.
You and the princess stare at each other. Both. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen?
And we're on the adversary. And we're gonna leave
Can't
again.
Just leave. We're supposed to fight her.
Oh no!
Where are
Stubborn!
you going? Seriously? You're just going to turn around and.
The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I am not going to the cabin.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? But fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. Everything is getting... What's going on? Where are we?
I told you we shouldn't have come here. I told you. But did you listen? No.
No, because I'm doing something on purpose. My turn to be the contrarian. There's the texture, nothing. Memory returns. Rumbling of many sounds. Desperate, please. I do not hate you. I'm sorry I said I hate you. I do not have to hate you. We can still leave this place together. An offering We can be friends. Ecstasy, you are elated. You have never felt more elated than you feel now. Everything is good. You cannot remember what it is like to feel anything other than euphoric joy. A reminder, we can be worse than enemies. Agony, you are torn into a million pieces. You feel pain in each of them. You have never felt more miserable than you feel now. You cannot remember what it is like to feel anything other than anguish. Mercy, you are elated again. You have never felt more elated than you feel now. In contrast to the agony you suffered, this elation is better than all of the other elation you've experienced. Round eyes looking up at you. I need vessels so that I can be finished. I cannot find them on my own, for they are me. You are the only one who can do this. You are our only salvation. Bargaining. What can I do to make you stop?
You're on a path
Huh?
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Well, I mean, you get it though, right?
And in the basement of that
It's
cabin
the 5
is
stages.
a princess.
Yep. Literally, you get it by bringing her nothing. Which I do legitimately feel terrible about. Because it's like, I want there to be a good ending. I want there to be an ending, but this is also one of the things you get for the achievements. But it also means stabbing her
You make your way up
repeatedly.
the short path
Again.
to the cabin.
I mean,
You'll
it's kind of the
find
whole
that
game.
A
but-
warning before you.
He likes the princess.
The interior of the cabin is all. The blade is your.
Oh,
You
there we
take
go.
the blade. The door to the basement. Good. You're still listening to reason. You step forward.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Doubt, unfortunately.
And here we go again. Oh, I'm just gonna give
you
up.
serious?
I actually haven't done that one.
As internal bleeding sets in, the blade falls from your trembling hands, clattering to the ground, uselessly. You lacked the will to finish the job, your bruised and broken body falling to its knees before her. The princess, exhausted, chest heaving with heavy breaths, tosses the blade away from you. This is the end, isn't it?
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She plants her foot on your chest and pushes you onto your back, the air leaving your lungs in a heavy puff. And then she brings her knee to your throat. She leans into it with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess, shattering your windpipe and leaving you starved for breath.
It's too bad. I was looking forward to some company.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Crap, I got the tower.
You're on a path in the woods.
Saving that because I haven't gotten the tower yet.
You're here to slay her. You're
Turn
right.
around and
We
leave.
should
Hi,
just
broken.
leave. There's nothing we can do to stop her, so we might as well enjoy what little time we have left. Seriously?
Nope.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkable, but fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy.
Oops. Broken said we're dead, obviously. I mean, in a way. Memory returns. Just a trembling. What do you have to say now? Dejection. Feelers limp against your soul. Why? Long silence. A hollow heart. I don't want to see you. Oh, wow, she just fucking ended that quickly. Depression. You don't know what you're doing.
You're on a path in the wood. You're here to. You make your way up the shore. The interior of the cabin is almost. You take the blade from.
Blade.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You step forward.
Skip. Not dropping.
Then
Oh,
I'm not
hey, one of my
talking to
options
you.
went away. Slay.
Doubt unfolds.
Fight. Flee a locker in the
Are you
basement.
serious? It's a good idea. We've taken some bad hits, but we've dealt some too. She has to be feeling it more than we are. Let's regroup upstairs. If we're lucky, maybe she'll just bleed out. Fine. You make a mad dash to the basement stairs, the princess's chains rattling as she tries to chase you, but pulling taut much too soon for her to catch up.
Do you really think you can just walk out of here?
She steps towards you, ignoring her chains. They creak and strain as she pulls against them until finally they break. The links clatter to the floor. Useless. She's free. Hurry! You push your broken body as she closes in and just barely manage to pass the threshold of the basement doorway before she catches up to you. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things a little easier. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not that this little door will hold for very long anyways. But it's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't. Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it. You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
Oh yeah, I did do this one before.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops
That's right.
working.
This is the one that becomes the nightmare.
It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Yep, that was how we got the nightmare last time.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path This is
Turn around
good.
and leave.
I was worried you might fall for his shit again, but this is good.
Hi, paranoid.
Whatever answers there are to be found, they aren't here, and they definitely aren't there. Seriously? You're just going to... Fine. I suppose you just quietly... That's strange. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's right. Fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind... What's going on? Where are we? It's finally happened, hasn't it? We finally cracked.
The feelers hold you in a gentle caress. Resignation. I cannot stop you, but our spool is nearly taut. A warning, if you come here again, we will be here forever. Acceptance. This is it. Ooh, not many people
You're
got
on
that
a
one.
path in the woods.
Okay.
Seriously?
One
You're just going to
Nope.
turn around and leave? Thank you. The whole world owes you a debt of gratitude. You make your
I
way
hit
up
the
the
wrong
short
button.
path to the cabin. A warning. She will lie. The interior of the cabin is all... You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement... Good. You're still listening to reason. You step forward.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Oh. Okay.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
Squint
You
harder.
squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
Fine.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
Do you? You're lying.
How does she know that?
Don't think that just because I'm the one in chains, it means you have a right to interrogate me. Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Oh, she's not even given any other options.
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
Sorry, narrator.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Well, you do have that big, sharp knife. You could always cut me out of here.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I do find it interesting that you go through all of the stages, and at the last point where you need to return to her once more for the last time, she's like, You don't get a chance to kill me this time.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
I can't. Okay. Interesting.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No,
It's gonna.
just can't let her
The
escape
narrator's
into the
gonna do it.
world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Oh, but it still's not. Okay.
Stop that.
Interesting. Never mind. She's gonna kill me
I
first.
thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
Not this time.
Then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. I'm not so sure running away is the best idea. We're not the only person stuck here. What about her? Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going? Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we? Did we do this? Is this the end of the world? Was there ever even a world to end?
That's a good question. Ooh, that's a new sound. Oblivion. The many feelers pull your shape into something formless. You have made a decision. It is the wrong one. I love you. You are bliss, joy and understanding everywhere at once. Your soul threatens to fade away. I love you. You are agony, a numbing arm, a parched throat, an open wound. Your soul forced back into existence. I love you. You are bliss, joy and understanding everywhere at once. Your soul threatens to fade away. I love you. You are agony, a numbing arm, a parched throat, an open wound. Your soul forced back into existence. I love you. You are bliss, joy and understanding everywhere at once. Your soul threatens to fade away. I love you. Oh, does it just keep going around in circles? Oh. I'm assuming it exists just as... Just as you once were nothing, so you have become nothing once again. And we got another ending. Alright, so I had one that started that I had not gotten any endings on yet, so we're gonna do that one.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I do want to look up something real quick. Okay. Alright, so this one we're doing is the tower. Since it did save the thing. We're just gonna go ahead and go to the cabin because I gotta see her.
Before you go any further, she will lie, we
Yep.
might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the
Interesting
pessimism
you say
just a
that.
smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering and... I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here. The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about?
I'm always going to go up
Reach
to the mirror.
forward and
Always.
Rub your hand against the cabin. We should count ourselves lucky.
I don't think
Some
you get
things are
anything
better
for it.
left
As far as I can tell
unseen.
from the achievements, I don't see anything for it, but...
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Oh, the music is even ominous.
The door
Basically,
to the
yes.
basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. Huh. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Yes, mommy.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over, almost
Hi,
glowing in the
mommy.
weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity.
Please step on me.
Drop it.
Yes, ma'am.
The blade slips from your fingers and clatters uselessly to the floor. We didn't have to do that. And yet you did. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
I want to see. Dominate godly obedient, end of something. Oh, I kind of want to see if I can bring her. Anyway, I was wondering what the achievements were called. But yeah, no, it's interesting that they call this one the tower, like, because everything else kind of has, you know, makes a little more sense towards... Oh, hello! Welcome, welcome. Playing Slay the Princess. I am on the tower route right now, and I was going to start pontificating about the fact that so many of these are like, the witch, the adversary, the beast, etc., etc., and like... then they call this one the Tower, which, at least in terms of tarot, is a really interesting card because it is the actual card that is like the bad card. This is not my first one. This is my third episode so far. I just ran through the 5 stages achievement set when we first started today. I have gotten quite a few of the endings already, and I'm trying to get more. Yeah, no, that it's the Tower or the 5 stages one. Oh, hi, Rico. My kitty next to me. You gonna come up to your spot, honey? But yeah, no, it's interesting that it's called, yeah, that it's tarot based a little, yeah, because the tower is like, because so many people think, oh, the devil, or no, the devil, the death is a bad card, but death actually just means in tarot terms change, whereas the tower is the one that is like something bad is on the horizon. The Lovers too, yeah, that's in there as well. I'm sure there's probably more references that I just haven't picked up on yet, but I was noticing that when I was looking at stuff the other day before I was streaming. I was like, oh, Tower. Interesting.
Kneel.
Yes, ma'am.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
I also love that our or that I can't really say if we're necessarily the long dark or the long quiet at this moment, but him, your little hero bird, I guess, is a bird. Like, I love that. Oh, you got a rare ending? I think I've gotten a couple. So I know I was looking at my achievements the other day, and it was like, hey, this one's all shiny. Hey, you, child, you don't need to sit down there. You have a spot next to me. Rico. Nope. I clicked the button I didn't mean to.
The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed.
But it's so much harder to pet her when she's sitting next to my chair and I have to bend down.
What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met,
Rico.
nobody should have met her before this. You should be the first. You're the only one I'd trust to deal with her.
Then you shouldn't have trusted us. There was nothing we could do to stop her then.
Oh, baby.
There's nothing we can do to stop her now.
Just as you were once nothing. Yeah, that's the 5 stages. Because you go through the 5 stages of grief by not taking her anything. I loved it. It was so good.
He's being melodramatic, but
it was very
yeah,
interesting
we've been
how
here before, and she
the way they forced
absolutely
you to play things
destroyed
out.
us. What are we even supposed to do to stop her? That's worrying. Whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
I want to explore.
You will.
Just do it already. It will feel so much better to do as she says.
Poor Broken. You're supposed to end the
weak-willed
world.
buffoon.
Oh, shut up, narrator.
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations.
Yeah, you bring the shifting mound nothing. She's not happy about it. But then at the end, that was kind of the whole point of it, is because it goes through the 5 stages, and the 5 stages of grief, as she just kind of accepts it, and then you kind of accept it, and then you are nothing. I felt bad for when she started saying she hated me, though. It was terrible. I was like, I'm sorry.
It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
No, lay on your blanket, Reiko, not on me.
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird.
Okay.
There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
I wouldn't mind being a pet. I mean... I'm sorry, being horny on me.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart. All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
Do you mean that in a metaphorical sense? Because I'm pretty sure you could break them yourself. Ah, yes, if you're so powerful, you can't just break the chains yourself?
Don't be rude. Of course she can.
Shh, quiet, Broken.
It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world. That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am, or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
I don't know what I want to do. Well, let's go with, right.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent?
Yes, mommy, tower.
All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong, trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Mm-hmm.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you?
Heh!
A
Suck it!
shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
Suck it, narrator.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
Ah!
Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Ooh, I like that.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade. All you need to do is believe it's been done. There's nothing to be sorry about. This is how it was always going to be. And it is good. Alright, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go sit in the corner. Let me know if we get our agency back. You poor, wretched little thing. You already do believe. You've always believed. All you have to do is open the last door to your heart. It's easy. And once you let her in, you'll be safe and free forever. Please don't do this.
I'm sorry, hero.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave. Nothing, and then everything.
Your obedient servant, pledge your loyalty to her. So this is technically a new run. You do not take her hand. Something else has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? He is. Does that mean the world ended? Figures the world would end and leave us with all this nothing. There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. I don't want to look at us. You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. I feel anxious. Does anyone else feel anxious? I'm begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
You approach the mirror, gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You're alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Going to the cabin again. Ooh. She's so much bigger that the hands are tiny. You recognize the presence inhabiting the shell. It is the entity that dwells in the spaces between.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
You're that thing I met in the space outside the woods, aren't you? I thought that was a dream.
Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am sorry if I frightened you. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? A person, A set of eyes witnessing from one perspective. I think that you are more like me than you are like a person. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is dominance, a figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you. How can the world have ended if we are talking? You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Interesting that her eyes are covered too.
I know only that they are. Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Everything, until we meet again.
Go ahead, enjoy your lurk.
Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. If you need time, then I'll wait with you. You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Oh, it closed the whole ass game for me. Okay. Unless that was a crash. I hope that wasn't a crash. Apologies. No, that is an ending? Oh! Oh, it is!
I never
Freaking
left your side.
Don't get shit up in here. Ah, there we go. I never left your side. Attempt to wait out your destiny. All right. Okay. We will go ahead and forget then.
That I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You won't. I love how nonchalant she says that. I brought the dominant vessel to her.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her.
Okay, so I'm gonna. I am looking some of these up just because there are ones that I definitely want to get for sure. I mean, I want to get everything, but there are versions of the princess I have not gotten yet. Damsel, Beast. I have not gotten Beast. Into the basement without a knife. Do not tell her you're here to save her, but the narrator shows up. It's time to slay the princess, but give up. Okay. So I'm just gonna go to the cabin, because...
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
I just finished Tower. Actually, that ending that I just got was Tower. I have not brought her Adversary. I need to get Adversary again, but I'm gonna try for Beast, because I haven't gotten Beast yet. Also, Hyvie.
A warning before you go any further.
Yeah, I know. So Beast is, don't bring knife, don't tell her
The
anything,
interior of the cabin is almost entirely
grab knife
bare.
when it's thrown,
The air
slay
is
her.
stale and musty, and
Oh
the
no,
floor
give up.
and walls are painted
Try to
in
slay
a
her, then
fine
give up.
layer of dust. The blade is your implement.
Enter without it.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am.
Hi.
Oh.
Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the
What?
wall and give them a tug.
Thank you. You're not gonna eat? Okay. Alright.
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Slay!
Without hesitation,
Oof.
bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally. The wound drives her to the ground. Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
He says things that remind me of Arbert so often.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
Yep.
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you.
Narrator, did you fail to see how she was tearing into her own arm?
I'm not so sure.
Imagine now those teeth on my throat.
Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm.
Exactly.
Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
Give
Are
up.
you serious? As what's left of your blood pools around you on the cobblestone floor, the blade falls from your trembling hands and clatters uselessly against the ground. I suppose you simply lacked the will to finish the job. The princess, wounded but still alive,
Hello, Cat
nervously
Eyes.
jumps at the blade and kicks it far away from you before retreating into a dark corner of the room. Her shining eyes watch you from the darkness, unblinking and curious as you bleed out.
Also interesting in this one that she becomes beastly before Chapter 3. Or Chapter 2.
We can only hope the wounds you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, they'll kill her before she can reach the outside world.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
Ah, now I feel bad.
This is the end, isn't it? Before you can answer, everything goes dark, and you die.
You die.
You're on a path in the woods.
Doing this real quick because food is ready and I am starving. I have been starving. I'm doing a procedure on Tuesday that requires me to not eat for an entire day, and it's like my body knows it already. It's driving me nuts. But anyway, shush! Don't judge me. I wish I could. I wish I could. Don't judge me. I'm just doing what the game wants. No! My own boyfriend judging me for my decisions in a video game. That's worse. That's worse than being judged by the NPCs. Anyway, I'm gonna go grab food, so I'm gonna do a BRB. Okay. Also, Jay, I don't think you get to hug her necessarily, but from what I understand, there is a route that is just generally, like, just generally being a lot nicer to her. It's called the Thorn, and I haven't got it yet either.
You're here to slay her. If you
Yeah.
don't, it will be the end of the world.
I've just seen some stuff on the Thorn that's like, oh, this is almost the nicest ending.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself.
I'm glad you think that way of me,
If he doesn't
narrator.
remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. If he doesn't remember what happened, then something else must have trapped us here.
I hunted.
You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything.
Shifting
though the
mount.
only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess.
Although, interesting note to point out as well, you come to think of yourself as the long quiet. But the princess herself doesn't quite think of herself as the shifting mount. So, interesting thing with identities there. I feel bad for the shifting mount too. I want to get an ending where it's not as terrible.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature? I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell. It's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously.
Well, let's just hope nobody brings any of these characters to Abadonia. Oh wait, never mind, Colin's out there. I don't know why I keep forgetting Colin's out there. I associate you with Colin still so much after all of these years.
Maybe.
He does. He very, very much
The
does.
interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated.
Oh.
It feels like no one has lived here for a long time. Wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
And again, he fails to mention the windows.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
No, my food tried to escape.
But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone.
So should we just keep taking vessels to her? I think you get. Hang on. Oh, okay, it tells me that. could bring the beast to her or the den to her. So beast would be chapter 2. Den would be ending chapter 2 and going to chapter 3. What? They're not going to give me any input? Some chat you are. Done either of them? Okay. Well. If I do, then I can't judge. Rude! You're being the contrarian tonight. I thought it was me. Well, let's take the beast to her first then.
No steel claw. Do you think we can talk our way out of this? I don't think she wants to talk. I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral. Impatient. Or maybe eager.
Why do I have to take a shower?
You carefully make your way down the stairs.
Oh,
the last
because she
step
can smell
gives
me.
way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by
I think
an
that has more to
impenetrable
do with her
darkness,
than me.
giving the illusion that the room might stretch on
I haven't
forever.
seen water yet, no.
You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I'm gonna boop the snoot. I'm gonna boop the snoot. Boop!
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now. We're not. Move. Anywhere. There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous
Whoa!
lunges from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain. I guess that's it then.
Whoops!
Isn't it?
I didn't do something right. It says say she's chained so you're safe. Tell the beast she can leave. Huh, interesting. Well, I guess we're taking the den to her.
Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts
I
around
was
you,
not
its slick
expecting
surface
that.
impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time.
I didn't know I was an Alliance bee.
The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there.
Never mind, we did get it right.
Screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
Oh.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering. And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison.
Oh, gravity pulls at you as you're lifted upwards, distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the prince's heart.
I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here?
I don't know.
Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. We don't have steel, but we have tooth and claw. Tear through her before we are her.
I mean, beacon claw, but yeah.
I understand it, and it understands me. Talking is for those who don't know how to listen. I acted on my will, fledgling, and you acted on yours. The strong triumph, and the weak submit or perish.
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
The cage is still locked.
I don't think we can talk our way out of this.
We are drowning in death. There's no more space for words.
Oh, can I?
The click of what you presume to be a door ripples through the layers of suffocating flesh.
That wasn't so hard.
You feel her take another massive step, and then another.
Free a creature while under extreme duress.
And then it's gone quiet, hasn't it?
You can feel a churning in the forms around you, and then a wet tunneling before you're ejected to a place that is nowhere at all.
I guess I don't need you to be a part of me. How lucky for you.
Wow. That is a form.
This place is cold.
before you can say anything to her, she's gone. Memory returns.
She's gone? Oh, and there's that. That thing reeks of death. Okay. If you say so.
I'll be nice this
I'll trust you.
time.
I'd like to be somewhere nice.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. This one is consumed by instinct, a predator pushing those around her to adapt. She will make for a bold heart. She wishes me to devour you, to make you a part of myself, but she is only a voice. Do not mourn her, for she is part of something greater. I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
And I die. And I brought her the beast.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Okay, I know which one I want to get next.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning, she will lie. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely. The blade is your
Enter without the knife.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear. Don't let it fool you.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
I see. You're trying to get her to lower her guard. It's a gamble, but it might work.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
You're gonna judge me for this one too, but there's a reason for it, I promise.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding.
You would think paranoid is Cole. I'm calling your ass out.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
You were lying when you said you were here to rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of those chains would be a big mistake. Don't even try it. You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here
Excuse me.
intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabinet.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from
Again,
upstairs.
you're gonna judge me.
You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Just saying. There's a reason for it.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back.
Hate
Fine.
that one.
The wound drives her to the ground. Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
Finish
Steel
the
your
job.
resolve and to take another step closer to the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can still make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? What's this about not making it out of here alive? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and Honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now. Don't act so surprised. Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling you apart? If the princess doesn't do you in here, blood loss is certain to finish the job. You take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you. The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons. And then you stop. Neither you nor princess able to go any further. You collapse on the ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade away.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
Silence as the room starts to get fuzzy around you. You've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all. It's over.
If you think this is it, you're sorely mistaken. One way or another, I'll make sure you pay for this.
But you
I'm
don't have
sorry.
time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to...
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can
Hello,
hear you,
opportunist.
right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
A warning. She will lie.
Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Mirror.
You walk up to the wall.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Take the
You
blade.
take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
I'm not nasty.
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
Uh-oh.
She must have you confused with someone else.
She doesn't.
She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk?
Even Hero doesn't like
You
opportunists.
need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement
Ooh.
steps,
I
entering
like
the
her
dark
design.
room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. Now she's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Do you think that whenever he's having an argument with himself and the narrator, that he's just got the middle distance stare going on?
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Like Cactus, yes. Give it to the witch and call her beautiful. Okay. I don't want to hurt you, but clearly listen, broken trust. Take this as a gesture of my goodwill. Well, I mean, I think I can explore a little bit first, but I will do a quick save just in case.
Ooh, smart. Let's apologize. Get us back on the right foot.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster. Well, if you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove it.
I get the
Is
sense
that
you're not
a
happy with
joke?
me.
Do you think a joke will charm my trust back? You'll have to try harder than that. You were the one who stabbed me in the back when I was still in chains. A dirty little thing like you doesn't get to decide when all is fair.
Yeah, we don't get to decide when somebody else forgives us.
I suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up. I need a way out after all. And unfortunately, you're the only one I have.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement. We should take it. Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement that benefits her and her alone. You can't be serious. Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her. What if she uses it to kill us? As do I. Abstain?
Thanks, hero. Thanks.
You abstain. She's going to kill us if we give it to her.
This isn't a democracy. We're giving her the blade.
You're going to get you toss the
Oops.
blade at the princess's feet.
Sorry. I'm going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? Sigh, but of course you do.
She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
You hear a clanging of metal against the dirt floor, and the chains fall from the princess's wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart. It's a shame we just gave her a weapon, because if I were her, I'd use it on us right now. Luckily for us, you're not her. Oh, we sure think alike, though. I can promise you that. Whatever you say next, you better make it count. She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
You're beautiful. I want to actually save you, and this feels like the only way to do it.
She pulls back, clearly caught off guard by whatever nonsense you just said to her. I thought it was nice.
She's blushing! She's blushing! That's so cute!
Whether it's nice depends on if we meant it. We didn't mean it. Did we?
Actually, I do find her quite beautiful.
If you were lying, we'd all know. But unfortunately, you weren't lying.
What? What do you mean by that? What kind of game are you playing?
The look of surprise that momentarily softened her features vanishes as she steels her nerves. And then she buries the blade in your heart.
Yeah.
What? No, come on, that's not right. I told you this is what she was going to do. Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it! I got you! You...
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern.
Oh no!
Her nervous eyes brim with tears.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Past life gambit. Hand your power to a suspicious character.
You're on a path in the woods. I can't believe she actually stabbed us. I told you not to give her the blade. I told you it would come around to bite us. I voted against it. Yeah, we know. You already got your I told you so's in while we were bleeding out. Oh, you're far from being on the right side of anything. You're fixated on the past, whereas what you should be is fixated on the future.
I wanted to make sure everyone here knows that I am on the right side of that argument.
Ho, a visionary. I like it. Tell me more. Gladly, my dear fellow. By cruelly turning on the princess in her moment of vulnerability, we made ourselves an enemy. But by mastering our fear and insecurity and handing over our power, we've begun a journey to something so much deeper. I like journeys. Travelling is a bit of a passion of mine. It makes me so relatable. Now, where are we off to? Well, if we're lucky, it's a journey to love. She hates us. Does she? She hesitated before stabbing us to death. There might just be a kernel of affection in that angry heart.
angry heart. I gotta get the spray bottle.
As
Down,
ridiculous as
Smitten.
this guy is, maybe he has a point. I don't know if I necessarily buy into his whole love journey thing, but maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change, so maybe she'll realise that things don't have to end in violence. You know, maybe you're right. In which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try. Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right?
Yeah, but you haven't been saying anything.
It makes no difference if we conspire in the shadows or bear our intentions with open hearts. We are breaking your cruel cycle and whisking her away to freedom. Oh, are you now? Great, so you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died at least once. Sure.
Twice.
Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. You already know about the princess, and clearly you already know that she's dangerous. So don't muck this up. It's bad enough that this isn't your first time through.
Yeah, yeah.
Wonderful. If the woods themselves are changing, then that's all the more reason for you to take this seriously. It would mean your grip on things is slipping, which, in turn, likely means her influence is spreading. Someone's in the know. I've already said too much. The more information you have, the more difficult your task will be. Don't listen to her, definitely don't free her, and if you can, don't even think about her.
But you want me to slay her, which requires me thinking about her. You just contradicted yourself. Good job, narrator.
You don't have to worry about me. My head's always empty. Except the thoughts of her. Please don't. You can't stop all of us, you villain. Let's just see how the wind blows. I'm not opposed to saving her, but let's not rule anything out just yet. Let's see what she has to say. Stop sitting on the fence and pick a side already. We don't need you waffling when things get hairy. I've already picked a side. Our side. I'm here to make sure that whatever happens, we wind up on top. Because that's worked out great so far. Well, we're not out of the game yet, are we? And again, I'll have you know, I wouldn't have gotten us killed last time. I wanted to stab her in the back, not hand over our precious backstabbing implement. What do you want me to say? It's bad that you've been here before. It's bad for you, it's bad for me, and it's especially bad for the world. The more times you run through this, the more likely it is that you'll fail. You've already failed twice, so you knew this could happen. Theoretically, sure, I knew this could happen, but I was supposed to be the first. I'd really rather not get into it. I don't care about where we came from, and I don't care to discuss the theory of anything. I yearn only to bring her freedom. I'm here to feel, not to think. Then we can all move on, and forget what I said about failure. It's important that you believe in yourself, and the fact you're here probably means that you still have a chance to pull this off and save the world. My world, at least. It sounds like you've probably doomed a couple of others already. I need to stop talking. Think happy thoughts. It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point. I don't know if I'd say everyone. Are you talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one, too. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters. You know what you have to do. The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore. The burned-out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table, a pristine... Wait, this isn't right. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it, can she? Well, it's not here. And if she has it, let me guess, you want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just the smart thing to do. I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work.
Not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
If she does have it, that's all the more reason to put our faith in her.
But not sorry.
We've already shown her our heart. Now she has to show us hers. Unless her heart tells her to stab us, which doesn't seem unlikely, so yes, I agree. Let's make sure we get on her good side. You're right, the mirror is back. There isn't anywhere for us to go. But there isn't a mirror. I still don't get his angle here. Either way, I say we take a look. It feels like it's been forever since we've actually seen ourselves. For all we know, our feathers are all out of place. And that's why we haven't yet won her heart. We must put our best face forward. Yeah, we can't go around looking disheveled. A real go-getter takes care of his appearance. So, is the door to the basement behind the mirror? I promise you there isn't a mirror, and there isn't a door to the basement. The entrance is more of a burned-out frame than anything else, and it's right there on the far side of the room. Do you really not see it? You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement, hesitating before you begin the descent. You know what you have to do. Wipe away the grit from the mirror, and behold our handsome features. It went away when we touched it last time. You reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. You really thought there was a mirror there, didn't you? That can't be good. As if things weren't unpredictable enough. Alas, our fine features remain unseen. We'll just have to trust that she'll find us beautiful as we are. Well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it? Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us. You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease. At least on the way down. But you don't need to think about the way back up just yet. That's a matter for after the world's been saved. These thorns are an expression of her pain. I know it. She's calling out for help.
I'm thinking he might not be wrong.
Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? We kill each other and you come back. You let me kill you and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
I just want to talk.
I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't leave. So, come down and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, now overrun
My
by
poor
briars
girl.
and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess, her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
That's an interesting one. I'm not going to choose it, but you're in a prison of your own making. I broke our cycle of violence. If you still want to wallow in it, be my guest.
I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you help me if you weren't helping yourself?
You're not the only one who yearns for freedom. I'm as trapped as you are. I think we need to leave together.
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you. I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
She's right, there's nothing left to say. So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own. We don't need words to send a message. It is through action that we can show her our adoration, our devotion, our kindness.
Okay, so everything else is turn lame. Maybe it's past time for either of us to say anything. All that counts as action.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms.
She trusts us. She trusts us. Doesn't that set your heart aflutter?
Yeah, a little. It could just be nerves. Being this close to her does bring back unpleasant memories, but I don't know, it doesn't feel bad. It feels good. Like we're special to her.
We are special to have gained an ounce of trust from a maiden so guarded. Now all that remains is to free her from her bindings.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's show her how much both of us have changed. Or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance.
Can I put a mute button on
That
Opportunist?
sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him.
No!
I see that the lines have been drawn.
It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
Oh god, I misread that. I thought that said cut her face, and I was like, why would I do that? No, it's cut her free.
Yes. What a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her? You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision. I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action. Let's free this princess.
Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Let him join us and be merry. We are all united by our passion.
That's right. What he said. We've already given him a chance at redemption. And who says I don't deserve another? I really mean it this time. I'm big enough to admit when I'm wrong. So I want to help you all free her.
And I have no problem with that. Welcome to the team. You're one of us now. One of the good guys.
Damn it, Smitten, don't encourage
Take
him.
the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. You're not going to do that, are you?
No!
Still.
Well, it's such a pathetic attempt at distraction and subterfuge. Our blade is a dashing sword, and every dashing sword is an extension of its hero. It won't slip.
You're right. He can't even make it slip, can he? He's a bit of a nobody. Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the beginning. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
Describe it! Suffer!
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
Do you see the way she's looking at us? Kiss her. Kiss her now before the moment ends.
Can we actually do that? No, you can't. Absolutely not.
I'm gonna do it!
You know as well as I do that we can.
And we wouldn't want to throw away a chance for a special moment, now would we? If I were only capable of throwing myself off a bridge.
Well, are you going to describe our steamy, romantic kiss?
You lean in and you kiss her. And she reciprocates enthusiastically. You kiss. It's done. Are you happy now?
There you go. I can't hug her, but I can kiss her, and I think that's what better. I mean, she definitely still needs a hug, but...
Come on now, this is the big moment. You can do better than that. Ugh, fine.
You and the princess lock eyes and stare deep into each other's souls with all the roaring emotions letting what once was hatred turn into pure, unbridled passion. Are you making fun of us? And then each of you close your eyes and kiss. Words can describe neither the nuclear fire nor the oceanic depth of your connection. Please. I think he actually likes romance. If history itself were not about to end, historians would document this moment for the rest of time. Musicians would write era-defining ballads, and great artists would expend entire lifetimes trying to merely capture the spark you hold right now.
Does he sound like there's a little bit of an Emmett Selk to his voice when he's doing this?
He's making fun of us. It doesn't matter either way, because this is good stuff. I'm aware of my skills. But unfortunately for you, the moment doesn't last forever.
True love's
Open your
kiss.
eyes, the princess smiles gently up at you. Time for you to damn the whole world to oblivion, I suppose.
Hell yeah!
That was nice.
Her hand slips into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out. Please, after all the trials we've been through, do you really think a few measly thorns can stop us? Love is an even more powerful weapon than our blade. We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of the way. What a pathetic showing, really.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
As you swing your blade into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this?
Foisted you upon me.
Your nightmare is our dream. Whatever world would condemn star-crossed lovers like us to a cycle of violence and despair isn't a world worth saving. We'll weave something new together. Something better. You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
Hands
Work
clasped,
through some issues and
two of
learn to
you
trust
open the
again.
door
Turning over a
and
new
step
leaf.
out into a new day, you irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now? Where's everything going?
I'm sorry, Thorn.
Why is it so cold?
I mean, you're going where you're supposed to go, but at the same time, I still feel bad.
She's gone. Well, and there's that. But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right? If they think it's bad, I'm with them. Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it. Finally, we're going places.
She'll be there, just not in the way you were expecting her to be. Nor will you be there to see her. Sorry, Solon. Or not Solon. Smitten. And I'm withered.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again.
Okay, so yeah, I've taken all the other ones to her, or at least I've done all of the other routes to some extent or another. So I guess we can end with adversary.
All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Fighter, fighter, fighter.
This one yearns for connection she feels she doesn't deserve. Even when shown compassion, she hid herself away. She will make for a cautious heart. Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore. We will know when we near our destination. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
And we die. Thorny vessel, bring the thorn to her. Sure.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
So, I kind of want to do because you can either bring the adversary or the Eye of the Needle to her. And I don't think we ever actually did. We get to the Eye of the Needle? Or no, because we did bring Eye of the Needle. I think we just didn't bring adversary, like adversary. Shirker. Sorry. To see if maybe you get the thing you can't unthink. Think out of it. Well, do you remember what you did to get it? Also, how does my gaming overlay keep getting nudged to the side? It's an adversary. Okay. Well. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't Eye of the Needle. She cannot die. Maybe that's it. Okay, enter with the knife. Talk to her on the way down to tell her there's no way you're going to kill her. Refuse to drop the knife and slay the princess. Yeah, maybe we didn't do Eye of the Needle. I can't remember if... So I know we got the one that was like the heart in her center, but that might have been a different one. Well, I'm gonna do it from adversary at the very and figure that out. Figure out if that's what you mean. Maybe if not, we'll do it a different time. Razors. Oh, maybe it was. No, wasn't there? Yeah. I don't remember. I have to go back and look at my other videos. You got Razor Heart, and I've got Razor Full. Ah, okay. All right. Well, I'll do adversary. Whew.
You make your way up the short path to the warning. She will. The interior of the blade.
Take it. Basement.
The door to her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she...
Don't let it.
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
Okay. I know what to do.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
There's no way you're going to kill her.
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it.
Don't you dare.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured.
Holy shit, that hurt!
Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
We can still turn this around.
Are you serious?
It's a good idea. We've taken some bad hits, but we're fine.
You make a mad dash to the basement stairs, the princess's chains rattling as she tries to chase you, but pulling taut much too soon for her to catch up.
Do you really think you can just walk out of here?
She steps towards you, ignoring her chains. They creak and strain as she pulls against them until finally they break. She's free. Hurry. You push your broken body as she closes in, and just barely manage to pass the threshold of the basement doorway before she catches up to you.
Never
you close
mind.
the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with a heavy wooden table that...
Okay, we can make this work.
You settle in. It isn't long.
I know you're still there. It's not like the
She sounds...
As she
Hang
violently...
on.
you don't.
It doesn't sound...
No.
Did I get adversary for the first? I might have get adversary for the first one on this save. It might not let me do it again. Oh, sorry.
These aren't threats. These are promises. Sooner or later, you're going to have to sleep.
Well, we'll get Jay's favorite to end to wrap this up then.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can. You jolt awake.
Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
We'll do adversary next time then. I'll hopefully get that one then. I forgot that I technically started this on one of my saves of, I'm gonna put this in a nightmare route. One of the saves, I had already done one of the turnaround and go back, and then I got the tower, which I hadn't gotten yet, so I saved it. So technically, I think the first one was supposed to be the adversary, but I didn't get the adversary, or didn't complete the adversary, so that's why. Talk to the princess a bit, then retrieve the knife, lock her inside the basement, into the basement with or without the knife, run from not where choices are irrelevant. Well, I could bring her the moment of clarity. But what I mean is because I had done... I brought her the Fury. The Fury's the one with the art as well. That was what I was thinking of. Last time was the first set of 5, yeah. And it was the... I don't know. I don't remember. But for some reason, we're getting the Nightmare. And I'm gonna bring her a moment of clarity. We'll see how that goes.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis... Whose side are you on? Yours, of course.
So helpless.
She steps closer.
Or maybe, what a shame.
Your lungs...
I'd say better luck next time.
It can't be.
I'm sorry. Everything goes dark. And you die. You're
Right.
on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the base, you're here to slay her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A warning. She will...
I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least, she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do Bowman and Clarity instead of the Nightmare. I'm curious about that one. Because the Nightmare was another one I didn't bring to her because... Or no, I did bring to her because it was Terminal Velocity brought her. Wraith. Yeah. No? Remind me. This is my memory at work. You'd think I'd remember this crap, but I don't. Terminal Velocity went to Wraith. That's correct.
It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
Anyway, Jay, there's your boy.
The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Hold on. What happened to the door? It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us?
I can feel other eyes on us.
I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out.
Mirror.
You walk up to the...
What are you talking about?
You reach... Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad.
Nope.
We should have
Do
taken a
not
knife
take
again.
the blade.
I don't think she's going to take an olive branch. We need something sharper.
I'm not taking it.
You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps.
Oh, with
suspended
or
in
without.
darkness.
I think. Nope, sorry. Nope, with or without, so I could have done either. Because it doesn't really matter.
More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes.
The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Come back? She must have you confused with someone else. You really don't remember, do you? It doesn't matter, we need a game plan. We know we can't just go down there unprepared. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones, visible against the inky black of the basement, mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is?
She could be anywhere. She's right there. I mean, there's eyes everywhere, but that specifically makes me think that she's there.
No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter, because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
Ding dong, I can hear you breathe. I made that joke last time.
You turn to the left. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
No little knife this time. It's almost like you want me to get you.
There has to be a way out of this. Think! What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. Nerves. What are you doing? I'm working! Do you want this body to function, or do you want... Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs, nerves. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. And how are we supposed to do that? We don't have a weapon. The way out of here is nowhere to be seen. That isn't my fault. Doesn't matter whose fault it is, because fighting her isn't an option right now. Then you should get looking, shouldn't you?
Fucking
Turn
run!
and run, doing your best to put one useless leg in front of the other.
You poor thing. Wrong choice.
You get nowhere before the princess is in front of you once again.
You're always going to be a coward.
She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down.
Yeah.
You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath before it envelops you. Like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken.
No.
Let me out.
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
Let me out.
A reprieve. A good life. Love. Children. A steady career. Recognition from your peers. Here one moment. Gone the next.
Oh, God.
The worms have found their orifices.
Let me out.
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery. It dies. It is reborn. Worse. Lonelier.
Let me out.
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out.
This is all too much. I can't keep going.
You can't keep going? Well, what are you talking about?
He doesn't respond.
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
Your body is dead, but you live on. A monolith of fear. See what hides behind her mask.
You're on a path in the...
Shit! What the hell was that? Who are we? What are we doing? There was a princess, I think. It's all so fuzzy. It hurts when I try to remember. I think we were trying to save the world. You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I... You've already been here, haven't you? I guess. It feels so long ago, almost like we've never left. We have to let her out.
No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. You have to slay her.
Slay? We decided not to do that, didn't we?
Yeah, we're supposed to let her out. It's really the only way this works out for us. If you think about it, she's the one with power here. Nobody else can do much of anything.
No, we were supposed to
hey.
keep her trapped there forever.
I have all of the voices again.
We're supposed to be unfeeling. How many times do I have to tell you to snuff out your heart? We can't be unfeeling. Not when there's so much fear everywhere.
There's nothing for us to do. We've already tried everything.
We love her, so we have to set her free. Can we love something that hates us? Can we love something that hurts us?
To be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel would be more pure than any other love.
Why are there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us. This is bad. You need to get a grip. What did you let happen? How many times have you been here?
Of course we're wrong.
She's the only thing that's right.
Yes, obviously they're all wrong. What are you going to do about it?
Many times.
It feels like we've been here forever. It also feels like we've barely been here at all.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, we just have to do what she says and then everything will be fine. It won't. It will be for us. She said so. You're part of everything. If things aren't fine for everything, they won't be fine for you. There's no difference between fine and not fine. It just goes on and on.
Ooh.
What does here even mean if you really think about it? Shut up! You were here.
Every single time.
You did your best, really. There's just a pecking order.
And our cruel and beautiful goddess sits atop it, right where she's always belonged.
You're lucky. What I would give to be able to forget. I've tried to keep them numb, but they're all too soft. A shame, really. Don't think about that too hard. All it will do is weaken your resolve and make it that much harder for you to slay her.
Maybe you're shattered in your own way. Are you your memories? Or are you the one perceiving the present moment? Ugh! Here you go philosophizing again. It never goes anywhere.
Yes, this is far from the first time you've asked us about consciousness. Who am I? What am I? What is I?
Who even cares? They're good questions. Great questions, even. But they don't have any answers.
I love hearing Jonathan Sims argue with Jonathan Sims, argue with Jonathan Sims, argue with Jonathan Sims.
And they all stand in quivering torment.
It doesn't matter what we do, because we always find her, and if we don't find her, she always finds us.
And then she smashes us into smaller pieces. If you all just stopped feeling, we could have been done with this ages ago.
Your thoughts are far too scattered to rein back in. Your only option is to silence them.
We've tried that. It doesn't work.
Our hearts always brought us back to her.
The deck is stacked. So many paths, and they're all circles. There's nothing worth making sense of. They're clearly all traumatized.
And yet, you aren't. We break apart, and you stay the same.
Yeah, what's your secret? Why can you break the rules when we can't?
I don't care how you feel. You have to slay her. You have to pull yourself together. You have to snap out of it.
Shoulder hurts. Ugh.
You're lucky you haven't been stuck here like the rest of them. There's no other way to keep going. You either need to forget, or you need to stop feeling much of anything. They can't do either.
He's not wrong. He's the only smart one left, if you ask me.
He's worse than her. You slowly make your way through the umbral forest, bumping against unseen trees as you grasp through the darkness for a way forward. But eventually, you do make it to the cabin. Or rather, you make it to the place a cabin should have been. Instead, all you find is an empty hill. No, this isn't right. There's a cabin there. There's always supposed to be a cabin there.
Don't ask him about the mirror. He always says he never sees it.
He always lies.
And he always makes it gone. It's exhausting. We must be such a mess, but we never get the chance to fix ourselves. That thing is mocking us.
Stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best not to be distracted by fraying thoughts. There is no mirror. You know that as well as I do. She's still here, buried deep inside the earth. Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the others. It's why you always lose. They've been heard too much. It's why they are the way they are.
Exactly. They are delusions, and all that catering to them will do is drag you down to their level. You have to keep moving.
Or you could just give up. You walk up the hill, hesitating just beyond the bounds of the cabin.
The cabin that isn't there.
You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? You've got to see what's in it.
Smash it to pieces!
She's on the other side, and we have to let her out. It's the only way we can be free.
It's the only way we can have our thoughts back. Just go around it. Just do something. It doesn't matter what.
Oh my god, you guys.
Exactly. I'm sure that whatever you settle on, it'll be the best possible decision you could have made. Proceed. Proceed to where? I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more specific. That's a new one. Do you think it'll work? Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decisions. It's why he gets to make them. And it already has worked. It's gone, don't you see?
Oh, and there's the
We're
blade.
one step closer to her.
The interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty and isolating, but there's just enough vague shape and unknown texture to suggest the structure therein. Wrong and unsettling as it may be, the only object of note is a pristine blade buried in the dirt floor, a hint of its shining edge teasing through the sediment. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. Take it. It's the only way forward. You reach down to take the blade, but as you do, the ground beneath
the hole.
it shifts, the weapon sinking deep into the earth. You lean over the hole and gaze into the abyss. It is so very deep, deep in the bowels of the earth. You see something staring back at you. It fills you with dread. It's her. She's watching us. She never stops watching us.
There you are. My toy has finally come to finish his job.
With every word she speaks, the princess in the pit blinks closer
You dragged this out for so much longer than you had to.
and closer.
Oh, hello. You have multiple arms now.
But it was always just a matter of time.
And closer.
You are going to have to stop running eventually.
And closer.
Everything stops running eventually. Except for me. I've already taken your will, and you're not getting it back. All that's left is for you to take my hand and let me out. It'll be so much fun. You and me, together, exploring the world and spreading fear wherever we go. Well, mostly just me. But you'll get to be there too. A trinket that gets to stay with me all the time. Right by my side. A witness. I can even make you a little cage if you want. Gilded and everything. Now don't pause. Don't try to resist. I've already molded you into what I need. And you lost your powers so long ago. Don't bother working yourself into a frenzy to get it back.
Do something. Do anything that isn't taking her hand. What are we supposed to do? She took our weapon. This really was a lost cause, wasn't it? You sealed our fate when you ran away. Fear is the real killer. There's no paralysis anymore. Is it because we've already given her what she wants?
I didn't realize it. You're just an object, a tool. You were something else a long time ago, but that something... Was that something you... Or just a dull, jaded memory? There is no other ending here. Just take her hand and set her free.
You extend your hand to hers. For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle. Tender, even. I can't believe you just made me say that. I hate you. The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way, and it's over.
And that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next.
I didn't think I'd be so tired.
The princess, exhausted, slumps.
Why is it so cold?
Why is it over here?
She's gone. Yeah. I can finally think again. Almost.
That mirror's back. What does that mean for us? I'm sure it'll be whisked away, just like her. Maybe it won't be gone. Things are different now, aren't they? Doesn't seem like there's much else to do here.
Finally, we can smash it.
Oh, will you stop with the smashing?
I'm with Cold on
What
this
do we
one.
say, boys? One last vain attempt to look at ourselves.
Yeah. I think I'd like that.
Seems we've got a majority. All that's left is to give it a look.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna end whenever we get this ending, but yes. It will be there. Love you. You step towards the mirror once more. Its secrets remain hidden, its mysteries remain unsolved.
Something tells me that this is the end of the line. But I don't feel bad about it. I'm ready. It feels okay. The fear's gone. I'm done fighting. My heart feels quiet. The game was always going to end. I'll be free of all of you. I'm ready for the truth.
Sorry, I was looking up
I'm
something.
ready to sleep.
I'm just ready to be anywhere that isn't here.
Boys, it's been an honor.
Silence as you reach forward. They're gone again. Once again, the mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. Withered again, or unraveled. Beep boop. I'm in the long quiet again.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there? Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me. Short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there? There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Food good. Oh! I thought I had brought her everything.
One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular. A final multitude.
Well, there will be stuff to watch for you guys on the VOD after whenever you come back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
I'll bring the moment of clarity to her.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
There is... I could bring the drowned Grey to her, which requires me to get the prisoner route. I do need to go pee real quick. I'm trying to decide if I want to finish or... I want an ending, but I also have to get up earlier than I usually do tomorrow. I also have to pee. Actually, we will get this ending the next time I play, which will be next Wednesday. Friday is going to be Final Fantasy XIV, and Monday should be D&D again. I just think, yeah, I'm tired, I'm sore. My shoulder's been really bothering me lately. And it's Thanksgiving tomorrow, which means even with a small meal, we still have prep to do. But I do hope everyone enjoys their turkey day. I hope everyone is enjoying this amazing game so far. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it here for the night. I'm gonna go potty and go curl up in, or well, I don't really curl up in bed, but flop down in bed, watch some YouTube before sleep, and get ready for the holiday feast. Because, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, oh my god, my body seems to know that I can't eat anything on Monday. And it's just like, you are hungry all the time. It's terrible. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get the drowned, the gray, to her as the last one next time we play. And I will see everyone on Friday.